Hey guys, what's good? I'm Andre and today we're gonna look at a couple of different things. We'll look at books, Twitter, NatGas, options on NVDA and EA, and then put options on PTON. So let's jump right into it, guys. Again, thanks so much for all of your support in recent videos. It really helps a ton to see those likes. It helps me understand what type of content you guys want to see from me, so please keep them coming if you see value in this. I'm gonna drop timestamps below, so jump ahead to the chapters that interest you guys the most, and I'm gonna get started here, guys, with books. So I've just posted something on Patreon. As I always say, I post a lot of free content on Patreon, so feel free to check it out, guys. It costs you literally nothing. Obviously you get a lot more value if you do opt into a tier, but the point of today's Patreon feature is to talk about books, guys. So if you're looking to get more knowledgeable about the markets, I've just posted something about what books you should be reading, and my good friend James over at ArchisFX was kind enough to add a couple more books that he recommended. That being said, I recommend these books not because they are the best or because they will, I don't know, give you all of the knowledge you need to be successful. I'm recommending them because they will 100% help any newbie out there to go from zero to, okay, I know what I'm doing, I can be my own person, and I can make better calls about where I'm going to invest my money or trade my money in the different stocks or commodities. I also post a lot of good content on Twitter, guys. I've just finally gotten to creating my own Twitter account. This is a long time coming, so feel free to check it out. I post a lot of ideas in here throughout the day. Now let's jump into NatGas, guys. The plan is working out. I'm so happy to see that things are panning out exactly as we were planning for them to. I was impatient yesterday, I need to admit. When NatGas spiked higher here, I think right about at the top of the candle, not the wick but the candle, I've actually exited my position because I was in from 222.6, so from over here. I just wanted to take some profits off the table, and I was kind of expecting a bounce back because it was already a 3.5% up day, so I knew there was bound to come a little bit of a correction. I entered again when I saw the retest on the 4-hour chart, so I'm back on the train, and I think this is going exactly according to plan. We've been struggling to conquer this area over here. If you take a look, we've been struggling to reconquer it after a while. We are now trading above it, so hopefully we can hold up and continue trading above it. Now let's move on to options, guys. So I was talking yesterday about shorting stocks like NVDA, and one of you guys actually left a really useful comment, and I want to talk about it. What he was saying was that after the initial spike, what he did was to sell the 450-455 bear call spread, and he probably collected a premium of probably $1.50, give or take, per trade, per contract. So guys, what needs to happen for him to make all of that premium and to pocket all of that money? Simply for NVIDIA stock not to rally above that level before his expiration, which I'm not sure what expiration he actually had. This is the way to short into strength if you want to do that, and if you kind of insist on doing it, although we were talking yesterday about why you shouldn't do it, so go back and watch that video if you're not sure why you shouldn't do it. But shorting shares from here is simply not a fantastic idea. Use options, get more knowledgeable, and find out what you can do from that point of view. I think this was a smart trade though, so I'm excited to see how it pans out. Hopefully it's a win. I also want to feature an option idea of my own. I think that EA is bound to go lower here, so we have actually bought a debit bear put spread on EA, and similarly to what we were talking about earlier, but on its head, because we now have a debit, we don't have a credit. We ended up paying $1.30 for this debit, and in order to collect the full $3.70 in premium, we need EA to go roughly below 119.7 because we've paid $1.3 for the one contract on this debit spread, and I think this is looking beautifully. If we scroll back into the weekly here, we change the time frame. You guys can see this is such a beautiful channel. I think this is probably a winner. We loaded up. I'm really stoked for this one trade. Now another trade, and this is the final one for today, guys, that we took and announced on Patreon the other week, was selling puts on Peloton, guys. And we sold puts on Peloton. We collected 84 cents per contract. We sold multiple contracts here. We collected 84 cents for every single one of them. What happened in the meantime was that, as we were expecting, Peloton formed a double bottom here. That was fantastic. From here it bounced higher as we were expecting. We sold the puts right at the $7 threshold here. If the price would have gone lower, I made a video on that and on what the expectation would have been based on that, so I'm gonna link that up at the end of this video if you want to find out more. But in the meantime, this rallied. We've now exited part of that trade that we had set up in there, and we're simply waiting for a few more days to pass so that we can collect even more of this premium. And man, it's free money. At the end of the day, you're telling the market, give me money. If this happens, if it never happens, you just get to run away with the money. It's a great tool to have in your arsenal to sell puts on things that can sometimes even be quite affordable. Now, I've also promised a couple of you guys to cover a couple of stocks. The first one is UI. So with Ubiquity, honestly, I don't know what to tell you guys because the sell-off here is massive. I don't like the way this looks. It definitely made some sort of a topping formation over here. I don't think we can call it a head and shoulders. I'm not quite sure what to call it, but it's definitely kind of a topping formation. It broke below. It now sold off quite aggressively. I would not touch this, I have to be honest. If you guys are long this and have been kind of caught bag holding, it's not a great place to be, I have to admit. On the weekly, we've sold off really aggressively. We are now massively oversold, so there is the potential to do kind of a mean reversion in here for maybe I don't know, 5-10% back to the upside. But otherwise, I never like picking up things that are free falling like this, and I would probably give this enough time to form an actual bottoming pattern, and I'm gonna show you with the next stock pick what that looks like. But right now I wouldn't touch this, guys. If you are not in a position, just run away, look at something else. Now the other one and the last one we're looking at here, guys, is MPW. So this is Medical Properties Trust. We formed a double bottom. This is what you need to look for after a massive sell-off. You need to look for signs of a proper consolidation, and please read up on what a double bottom means. A lot of traders confuse a double bottom with something that basically we trade this way today and then tomorrow we trade this way again, and that's not a double bottom. You actually need enough time to pass between the two different legs, and it's usually at least 3 to 4 weeks that you need to pass. We have now conclusively formed a double bottom here. That's quite exciting. And as you guys can see, and this was the second part that I wanted to talk about here, but what confirms that it was a correct double bottom is breaking above the level here. And we are now 100% broken above here. And the way that you can measure this out and know where it's gonna go is by taking the measurement for the peak to valley here for this one double bottom formation. You take this out, you move it out here, and sooner or later we're gonna reach $11.15 for this one security. Guys, thanks so much again for tuning in. If you want to check me out on Twitter, we are at Trading Crew US. Look out for Patreon as well. Again, a ton of really useful content, a lot of it for free. Drop a thumbs up, subscribe if you enjoy the content. I'm gonna catch you guys next time. Take care.